This is a continuation of the homework on page 147, and I'm only going to do a few problems, so this will be a pretty short video. The only problems that I didn't really talk about in the last video are 51, 53, 55, and 57. So I'm just going to work through those for you just to support your learning there. So in number 51, we have a trig equation. And the first term, we're finding the derivative of negative cosecant of x. So y prime. So I have to think about the derivative of negative cosecant of x. So I'm really going to first focus on the derivative of cosecant of x. So the derivative of cosecant of x. Remember, the derivative of all cofunctions are negative. So the derivative of cosecant of x is negative cosecant x cotangent x, so multiplied by the negative that was already there from the problem makes that positive cosecant x cotangent x. And you got to memorize those things. And then the second term, the derivative of sine is cosine, so we get minus cosine of x. Number 53. In number 53, so we're going to use our math eyes to examine, and hopefully you see what I call a squishy product. That is x squared multiplied by tangent x. So a product will always need the product, well, unless you can make it not a product, we'll need a product rule. All right, so the first function is x squared. The second function is tangent x. The derivative of x squared is 2x, and the derivative of tangent x is secant squared x. So we're going to multiply x squared times secant x, so that is the first times the derivative of the second. So that would be x squared secant x plus, product rule, p for plus, second times the derivative of the first, 2x tangent x. And in class we talked about the possibility of cleaning. I could factor out an x, but it is unnecessary. It doesn't really do anything to make this answer better since I'm not trying to solve an equation or do anything with it. And also remember that addition is commutative, meaning that these two terms can be reversed and it doesn't change the outcome of the problem. Moving on to number 55. In number 55, I am looking at, so look right here, it's easy to overlook. Use your math eyes. It's easy to overlook the product of 2x multiplied by sine x, and in the second term, I have another product. So I'm going to use the product rule twice. All right, so let's do the first product. So I have 2x, and I have sine x. The derivative of 2x is 2. The derivative of sine x is cosine of x. So first, derivative second. So number 55 is y prime is 2x cosine x plus, p for product, p for plus, second times the derivative of the first, 2 sine x. Now what I just did there simply takes care of the first term, so that term is done. Now I have another term of, or another product of x squared, I'll do that over here, and e to the x. The derivative of x squared is 2x. The derivative of e to the x, of course, our favorite is e to the x. So first derivative second, so there was a plus in between there. So x squared e to the x plus second times derivative of first plus 2x e to the x. And I don't see any terms that I can combine, so that would be my final answer for number 55. I'm going to clear these annotations and do the last one. Go away, annotations. All right, so number 55, what do I spy with my little eye? I see a quotient. So I'm going to first of all rewrite that just a little bit to make it 4 x to the 1/2 power. That is not the derivative, that is a rewrite. So number 57, quotient rule, of course, down d up minus up d down over down down. So down 4x to the 1/2 power, d up, the derivative of e to the x is e to the x, minus up e to the x, d down, power rule gives me 1, whoops, I meant to take half of 4. So the derivative of 4x to the 1/2 using the power rule is 2x to the negative 1/2. So that was down d up minus up d down. Now the order does matter here. You can't reverse those two terms. Subtraction is not commutative. Over down down. So that quantity gets squared. Now, as far as cleaning is concerned, if you check the solution in the textbook, excuse me, they're going to do a lot of work with that negative power and radical. But for this class, this is what, for now, our class, I would accept for x to the 1/2 e to the x. I probably would change the next term and put the 2 in the front, so 2x to the negative 1/2 e to the x. In the denominator, when I square, 4 squared is 16. When I square x to the 1/2 power, power to power, we're going to multiply, so I get x. And then the last thing that I would do here is I would divide every term. So notice I have a 4, a 2, and a 16. So I can divide everything by 2. So that would give me a final answer of 2x to the 1/2 e to the x minus, dividing by 2, x to the negative 1/2 e to the x, dividing by 2, 8x. Remember, if you're going to do that reducing, you have to be able to reduce in all of your terms. So I can divide here by 2 and get a 2, divide by 2, get a 1, divide by 2, and get an 8. So that's how I did the reducing. So that's the rest of page 147. Hope it helps.